to the Monday, April the 21st, 2025 meeting of the Montpelier Design Review Committee. We'll let members and staff introduce themselves.
Rebecca, member.
Meredith Crandall, staff.
Stephen Everett, member.
Eric Gilbertson, member.
Martha Smirsky, member.
Liz Pritchett, member.
At this point, we can let Meredith review the remote meeting procedures and process.
Okay. Oh, and we have Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Please. No,
No, it's okay.
Great. We've got everybody. All right. All right. So for anyone viewing tonight's design review committee meeting via Orca Media, you can participate in the discussion via the platform through either video or telephone access options. If you want a full video experience, please type this link into your web browser. Alternatively, you can dial this telephone number and when prompted, put in this meeting ID here. Either way you choose, I will get a prompt that you want to get into the meeting via Zoom and be able to let you in. If someone is trying to access the meeting and having problems, please email me at mcrandall@montpelier-vt.org. I will be monitoring my email throughout the meeting. For those attending via Zoom, turning your video on is optional. For everyone attending, please keep your microphone on mute when you're not speaking. This will help reduce background noise. The Zoom chat function should only be used for troubleshooting or logistics questions. If you have a question or comment about an item on the agenda, please raise your hand and wait for the chair to call on you. In the event the public is unable to access this meeting, it will need to be continued to a time and place certain. I'll now hand the meeting back over to the chair.
At this point, do we hear a motion to approve the agenda?
This is Martha. I'll move to approve the agenda.
Second, says Eric.
Okay, all in favor of the agenda, speak your names.
Rebecca.
Martha,
Ben.
Stephen,
Eric.
Liz.
the agenda is approved. At this point, we can move forward to the first application for 68 Main Street, owner 68 Main Street LLC, applicant John Benjamin.
So it doesn't look like John is actually here. I did send him the invitation. It is not required that an applicant be here. So if you don't have any real questions for them that need to be answered, and you're happy with it, then you could approve it. If you have questions for them, you want to discuss it with him, then we'd need to bump it to the next meeting.
Meredith, my only question was whether or not the lighting that he shows on his picture is pre-existing.
It is. It is. I made note of that on the recommendation form. It's
Okay.
pre-existing lighting that matches the other lighting on the building.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And the size is within the guidelines.
Yep.
And seeing as how the sign is 1.5 feet or 18 inches tall, it looks like it puts the lettering at about maybe 8 inches high.
Yeah.
Based on just a rough guess. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or suggestions about the sign?
Eric doesn't.
This is Martha. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yes, I am too. Liz.
Okay, in that case, I can go through the criteria sheet. Number 1, size, location, design, color, texture, lighting, and material of all exterior signs within the district shall be compatible with the buildings and structures of the site and surrounding properties. Acceptable. Where appropriate, signing shall respect the original sign placement and sign bands on historic structures. Acceptable. If a building has multiple tenants, there shall be consistency in placement and size. Acceptable. It is recommended that sign placement be centered over the building entries. It is acceptable. Sign installation shall minimize damage to character defining materials. That's acceptable. Sign design, color, and typography shall respect historic precedents where appropriate and shall be the appropriate scale for existing and new buildings. Acceptable. All in favor of the sign application, speak your names.
Rebecca, Ben,
Eric,
Martha,
Steve,
Liz,
the application is approved. And you can advise them at some point by email or whatever
Yeah.
of the next steps for them.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay, we can move forward to the next application for 118 Main Street. Owner applicant Malone, Main Street, Montpelier Properties LLC. Review window and door replacements and repair of brick facade on historic structure.
Alicia on remotely. Alicia Filer.
Oh, okay.
If you're it, Alicia, there's nobody here in person, so you'll be talking about the project.
Describe your application for us.
Hi, the project is at 118 Main Street and technically 7.5 School Street, which is the rear portion of that building. The windows are rotting, so we're proposing to replace those and any doors that are also in disrepair. The brick facade on the back portion of the building is failing. And so there's in theory two layers of brick because it was structural at one point. So both layers will come down, a wall will be framed, and then brick facade will go back up from the same bricks as long as there's the correct number to repair it with. So it should resemble exactly what it does now, but not crumbling under its own weight. The windows on that back portion will also be replaced. We're also proposing to replace the asphalt shingles on the roof of that back portion. But all is intended to mimic what's there now. No architecturally different, no architectural differences, just to make it a nice, safe, and functional building again.
are you planning on removing the restaurant sign that's been
No.
there for decades?
Not at this time.
Okay. And what kind of windows are you planning to use?
They are proposed to be a vinyl window, but black, and then having the same panes to match the existing. So on the front face is 1/1, and the rear has kind of a I think there's a 6/1 on the back.
That's what I'm looking
windows.
at, yeah.
Yes, I believe that we are intending to match those, other than they would be black, and to the front and the rear windows would be.
and no major changes proposed to Main Street side.
No, the windows would be replaced to match, yes, but there's no distinguishable differences.
Now, is that,
Those windows are on the second floor, are they not, Alicia? On the Main Street side?
There are windows, yes, but there's also I think the windows, they're the very long, tall windows along what used to be Hugo's, but that front face, there's some there that also need repair, but they would be to match the same dimension. Yes, and just refill that opening.
On the side you see from the old Indian River Sports
Mhm.
parking lot, are you changing any of the openings?
So if there was an opening for a window that has been boarded up, it would be put back to be a window. But we were not proposing any additional cutting into the brick to create any new windows.
I noticed when I looked at the plan, I didn't do a real thorough look at it, but some of the offices have very few windows that you propose. Uh, I don't think I'd have any objection to some additional openings on that facade. Because the windows that are there are pretty random.
So you would be okay should an office or a space need an additional opening, you would be fine with that as long as it matched the rest of and the flow of the building?
I, yeah, I wouldn't have any problem. They probably should match in, the size of the
Sure.
existing. The one office I don't think has any windows.
I noticed that as well. I wasn't sure what the plan was for that, if it was going to actually be an office or a storage type space, right?
Let me know if you want me to try and pull up a street view of that rear area. On Google Maps, you can get in there through Hazen Place, and so there's a view of that from. It's old. It's from like 2018, but you can still see where the window locations are.
Could you do that, Meredith? That would be helpful.
I think those windows are probably not original to the building. That not the windows in the frames are not, but even the openings may not be.
It definitely looks like there was you can see in the brick there was definitely some repairs, replacements, and changes at some point or another around some of those windows. Absolutely, the pointing on the grout's different and whatnot, but maybe that will. I'm hoping that will be more cohesive once they're once it's replaced.
I believe that was built as a stable, and generally a stable wouldn't have windows like that. They'd have small windows so the horses didn't try to get out that way.
You can see maybe here where there might have been a small window at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to see on that because of the contrast. Here you can see it if you want to look, Steve, because you can see a
Yes.
difference in the brick style there. Looks like they filled in a little window just to the right of that utility pole.
Yes.
And Meredith, if you drive just a little bit closer to the river too, you can see not zoom, but like click down as if you were driving in the Google car.
Will it let me go closer?
Yeah, there's another click point.
Ha. Maybe.
No.
Not from this angle.
Yeah, okay, so then if you turn, oh, okay. I don't know. I was able to get it somehow. maybe
There's a view from further down Langdon Street
okay.
where you can get in at the very end.
Oh, you're talking about here.
Yeah, the in between those two, you can see where there used to be a little window.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do the offices on the third floor, what's going to happen to the first floor? That's a curiosity question.
The idea is a retail space on that front to be a storefront on that front portion.
Plans show the second and third floor. They don't show the plans in the back for a first floor. Am I correct in that or am I wrong?
Just say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Well, they show the plans for the rear part are labeled a second and third floor.
It is second in that I think that there's a basement technically underneath it. I believe that what's labeled second floor is intended to be street level.
Okay.
And then yes, and then the next floor up is what we would call normally a second floor, but it's structurally, technically, there's a third occupant level.
And those offices really face in the mansard.
Yes.
Again, I would, I don't know how the other members of the commission feel, but the installation of additional windows in that wouldn't bother me at all. This is not really a primary facade of the building. It's pretty visible, but that's completely up to you guys, of course, but
Eric, are you talking about the second floor, the top floor right now? Or both floors? As far as windows go? Additional windows.
Oh, you're muted, Eric.
just, I can't remember exactly what the office configuration is, but some of the offices I know only have one window.
And I am looking, and I apologize, that I think that I see 6 windows on the floor plan and 5 openings to the current roof, a couple of which are boarded or acting as some type of vented area. So there would be one more opening.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this is
and some of them also have interior windows. It looks like into the hallway.
Mhm.
The furthest office, the furthest to the right on the plans, doesn't have any windows.
I have no objection to additional windows. I think making the building more livable is ideal. Keeping them, you know, in a symmetrical pattern above each other makes sense to me, and keeping their same sizes, but allowing for as many windows as they feel necessary makes sense to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great information. I also wanted to ask if there was a preference. It looks like there's a couple of the openings on that higher level have gable type roof dormers, and then a couple of them have shed type dormers. If there was I don't know what the proposed plan is there, but there's definitely a difference on some of the existing windows. There's a couple, I don't know if you have that. Yes, just those 2 ones closer to the river have a gable, and then the 3 other ones have what I call shed, single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh,
Just I'm noticing that right now, but
They should be the same.
whatever it is, it'd be the same. Okay.
That's my feeling.
If you wanted to change the 2 gables to just a shed roof to match the other 3, that would be fine. Whatever works better, as long as they're all matching. If you want to change them just so that they all match, is fine.
Okay, perfect.
Steve, I'd say they don't really necessarily have to match, but
I mean, that's just their option.
yeah,
We don't, it's not required. It's just that if they choose to do that depending on how sound the existing structure is, if they
Mhm.
wanted to change them, they could either replace it as is or match whatever
One
else
another.
is there.
Perfect.
I think it's the first time I've ever suggested additional openings in a building, but that's
We'll take it.
I was gonna say that.
Okay. That's great.
I think it's important to have, when you're investing that in the building, I think long term, it's important to have a really viable office space. In terms of long-term preservation of the building, it has to be economically, you have to have rentable space.
I'm gonna say that I have a preference for the gable roof over the shed style windows. Just, I like them better.
Noted.
Yeah, the gable roof maybe might tend to look like an older um, an older roof treatment than the shed, but
One of the things I think I'm clear on this, but the facade facing School Street, there's no changes in that.
Correct.
I was thinking too that they make pretty good skylights now, but a skylight in the room without any windows might be a useful thing. And I don't, you can't even see that roof from the ground when you're walking around.
I will let the powers that be know about that suggestion.
By the way, at some point it was mentioned that the windows may have been vinyl, but some of the windows may have a vinyl jamb, but the windows, according to the cut sheets, are wood double hungs under the Green Mountain window designation. They show as wood double hung windows.
Hmm.
Does anyone have any other comments, questions, or suggestions?
No.
Okay,
I just
I
have a
actually,
comment.
I'm sorry. Then I can go through the criteria,
Did somebody had a
or
question?
did somebody?
No,
have a question?
it's me, it's Martha. I just had a comment. I'm very excited about the fact that this building is going to join our community again.
Yes.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. I've always liked that building. I was just curious, so I noticed that too, that some of the new windows are proposed to be wood. Is that right, from the Green Mountain Window Company?
That's
And
what it
so-
shows. That's what it
and-
shows on the cut sheet.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, and some are vinyl, so I was kind of curious about that.
Are you referring to the colored kind of flyer, what I might call it that, or is there a different spot that I'm missing?
No, the specification sheets that you sent actually say wood double hung in the bottom
Okay.
right-hand corner. So hold on one second. I can show you. I just needed to get there without making everybody dizzy. See? That actually says wood double hung.
I do not disagree with that. I was definitely told that they were going to be vinyl because of the fact that they had replaced some recently in a different building, and the wood was just not holding up like they wanted it to. And I can get confirmation one way or the other, but I was definitely told that it would be vinyl for this.
Is that a vinyl or is that a fiberglass, like an Ultrex?
I don't know. Let me just.
They mention in the Green Mountain Window and Door Company offering their 4 different systems. One of the systems uses a wood sash, but it uses a vinyl jam liner. But the sash themselves are wood unless that they have. And again, the vinyl is just a track. It's the jam liner. But
And
again,
that-
they may have a clad window, but as far as I know, Green Mountain, if they use anything, would use a fiberglass or what they call a similar to an Ultrex. Because that their claim to fame is that they specialize in window replacement solutions for historic buildings.
I think the vinyl clad windows don't last terribly long, and the wood is in such poor quality these days that the straight wood windows don't last. I wouldn't have any objection to fiberglass windows. Steve, could we put that in the alternatives along with additional openings and a skylight in the roof? It's an option for the applicant.
Okay,
Yeah, he's writing.
okay. So the options that we have are the existing gable window structures on the upper floor on the south side of the building, again, may be reconstructed as necessary, either using existing gable or shed roof structures or change to match remainder. Additional openings to restore previous openings for windows or options, and window frame materials are suggested to be wood or fiberglass. Does that sound accurate? Any other suggestions, or I can read through the criteria? Exterior design and materials of new construction or alterations of existing buildings shall be consistent and compatible with the characteristics of the existing building or other properties in the district. Character defining features, finishes, and construction techniques or examples of craftsmanship that characterize an historic building shall be preserved. Deteriorated character defining features shall be repaired rather than replaced. Where the severity of deterioration requires replacement of a character defining feature, the new feature shall be replaced in kind. Any treatment that causes damage to historic materials, including but not limited to chemical or physical treatments such as sandblasting, are not approved, but this application is acceptable. Existing buildings shall be recognized as a physical record of their time, place, and use, acceptable. Location and appearance of all utilities, mechanical equipment, trash storage, and fencing shall be cited to minimize adverse visual impact or adequately and appropriately screened from public view. I didn't notice there was anything in the application for that. Architectural features, including but not limited to cornices, windows, shutters, fan lights, entablature, trim, and other forms of molding or character-defining detailing prevailing on the existing building, shall be considered in the alteration of a building. That's acceptable. Windows and doors on historic structures. Character-defining window and door patterns, placements, sizes, proportions, and original features such as trim, sash, and moldings shall be preserved to the extent possible. When preservation is not possible, such character-defining windows and doors must be rehabilitated or replaced in kind. Windows and doors that are not character-defining may be replaced, but such replacements must be compatible with the historic building style, materials, and architectural features. That's acceptable. All in favor of the application, speak your names.
Eric,
Martha,
Rebecca?
Ben,
Stephen, It
Liz?
is, application is approved.
Yeah. It's approved. I didn't know, Liz, if you were a yay or a nay.
Yeah, yay. I don't know why I'm not coming through, but
I don't know,
Anyway.
sometimes with the remote, I ran into this 2 weeks ago. If
Uh-huh.
people unmute, then say something, then remute, it's like it doesn't have time to register, so they've got to stay unmuted for a little bit.
okay.
Okay, so Alicia, I will follow up in the next couple of days with the, actually, wait, we did the, you put options on here for them, right?
Yes.
So I am going to scan this, and we'll need a signature that, Malone Properties is okay with the options,
Okay.
and recommendations. And as long as I get that, once I get that signature back, I'll be able to issue the permit.
Thank you very much, everybody.
And thank you for the stuff from the State Historic Preservation Office. That makes my issuing the associated river hazard for the change of use easy
Yeah.
peasy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you and good
Thank
luck
you.
with your project.
Thank you.
Good luck. That's a good project.
We can move forward to the minutes from the April the 7th meeting. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes? And are there any questions or comments on the minutes?
This is Martha. I'll move to accept the minutes the way they're written.
Eric says second.
All in favor of the minutes, speak your names.
Rebecca?
Eric,
Martha,
Stephen?
I haven't had a chance to look at them. I couldn't pick them up for some reason on my computer. So I think I was there, but,
That's
I
okay.
will-
We only need 3 to approve it.
okay, good.
Okay, the minutes are approved. Does anyone have any other business? If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
so moved.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor, speak your names.
Rebecca? Ben?
Eric,
Stephen,
Martha.
Liz?
meeting is adjourned.